computer, and there was a lot to do. Today was grocery day, like I said, $520 of groceries.
A lot for one person.
I'll explain why in just a moment. There was a disaster while I was gone, and yeah, I started feeling very nauseous and lightheaded, and my hands started going numb while I was sitting here playing. And I was like, boys, I am not feeling good. I'm going to have to duck on out of here and lie down. So I went and ate an Uncrustable, the most delicious snack in the world.
Those are so goddamn good.
They're so good. And I lied down for about an hour, and then I was good to go. I think my blood sugar just got really low, which has happened maybe 5 times in my entire life. Like usually when I'm working out too much without eating, when I'm going on like a crazy crash diet, I averaged 0.6 pounds of weight loss a day for 56 days, by the way, I think.
I know. Like I literally, like before the show, I brought it up to my girlfriend. We were talking, and she knows a good bit about like the health and wellness and shit. And I was like, yeah, Kyle lost 35 pounds. And she's like, he was in there for like 6-7 weeks, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, it's not possible. How could, and I'm like, don't put anything past Kyle. He will starve himself for a week if it means getting.
It's basic math. It's calories in, calories out. Just take your base metabolic rate. Take the fact that I think a pound of fat is like 3,300 or 3,500 calories, and then start doing the math about what you can eat each day, and then factor in 3 miles of running, and it's not hard. There were a lot of
historically is one of your stress responses too. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. And after 2 days of not eating, I mean, you remember this from our little survival trip. It doesn't bother you so much after 2 days. Your stomach stops growling.
Over the hump.
Yeah, there's a hump to get over, and you're like, oh, this is how our ancestors survived.
I wish I wanted to stop eating when I got stressed out. All I want to do is stress eat.
Get some Adderall.
No, I tried that in college, and it made me crawl out of my skin.
Well, you got to snort it, Taylor.
Did you try snorting it?
I didn't do that. I didn't try. I'm a
think, Taylor.
Fool.
Think.
I should have thought of that before I brought it up.
So try to solve this mystery for me, boys. Yeah. All right. So when I left, the only thing I did as far as like my house, I unplugged everything that could draw power.
What was the motivation there? Save money?
Save electricity. Okay. If I'm not gonna be here for 2 months, why should an LED be burning? Why should I have an LED strip on the back of my television? Like, why should that be plugged in? Why should anything be plugged in? And I shut everything down. Unplugged items that continuously use electricity, turned my air conditioning to 80 degrees, and I left. When Kitty came here to my house about a week ago, to like get it ready in case the probation officer wanted to do like a inspection before I was released, which they said he did, but it turned out that didn't happen. For another, just write this one down too for next week's topics.
Okay.
My case manager was dyslexic.
That's going to require spelling dyslexic.
Oh, I got it, Woody. Don't worry.
Dyslexic. Huh? Kitty opens the refrigerator, and there's maggots in my freezer and my refrigerator, and there are dead flies on the floor. Dead maggots, dead flies in my refrigerator and my freezer.
Gross.
Work out how that could possibly happen.
How do maggots grow in the fridge?
There you go. Okay.
The refrigerator's off.
The refrigerator would have had to be off, right? However,
was it off? Did you unplug it?
My power bill was paid the whole time. Kitty kept up with all my bills, of course. I double checked when I got out. Everything went along.
Was it on when you returned to the refrigerator? It
was on, and the ice track is full. Like
when
the
you
ice
opened
maker.
Were there maggots, or did Kitty open it? She had
cleaned out. She cleaned the refrigerator for me, and then I hired somebody to clean the freezer today. I can't. It doesn't appear to me that the frozen goods had like defrosted and then refrozen, because there was things in there like a Reese's like cup was just sitting there unwrapped, and I feel like it would have melted a little bit if it had gotten up to 80 degrees in there. There was like frozen Brussels sprouts and frozen broccoli, and that like didn't feel all bunched up together. It felt loose and like it was still fresh and everything. My crab legs weren't like incredibly gross or anything.
Oh, those would have been rancid.
Yeah, it was only a couple clusters, but it's like whatever I didn't eat the last time I made crab legs, and I just tossed them in there. I don't know how it could have possibly happened. Like
Where were the maggots and flies? Just
at the
in
bottom of
fridge?
the fridge and the freezer. Like
Did
in
they
the
make their
bottom.
way out into like the rest of the room? Like, was there a maggot problem in the rest of the room?
No.
It was just
no.
in the fridge.
Yeah.
Well, what the?
It had
What the
to
fuck?
have turned off. I don't know why.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
Power
But even if
outage.
it turns off, how would that proliferate inside?
see, it couldn't have been a power outage, and here's why. I have Nest cameras that record all over, like outside and in a few locations on the inside, like where a break-in might happen, doorways and certain windows, and where valuables are stored. And it goes to Kitty's phone. So if somebody walks past that camera, she gets a boopity boop. So while I'm gone, obviously, if she gets any notification, she's like, "Oh shit!" She's calling 911. So they come over here and catch whoever's burglaring me. So she would have been notified of any power outage right to her phone immediately if those cameras go down, because they're plugged into AC. They have battery backups, but I don't use them because I'm not worried about the security during the incredibly rare scenario in which there's a power outage, I suppose. But so there was no power outage. The only thing I think is like maybe when she came over here the first time to check, she like left them both open and then walked away. I'm just so, but she says that didn't happen because
And
my
it's weird
fridge
to
is.
leave them both open.
It's insane to leave
Right.
both open,
Accidents
especially
happen,
since.
but both.
And my fridge has that warning chime that's a bit annoying actually. After maybe 40 seconds, it's like deet 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 deet. Like,
I turned
close
that
this.
shit off. Fucking sucks.
So if I knew how, I would. So it was so gross, and I just wrote off everything that was in there, even the pickles. And so I went to the store today, and I filled that cart up, like bulging over the top with all kinds of wonderful things. My dad's coming over Saturday, so I'm going to cook tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah.
How
So
the
I'm cooking-
fuck would maggots get in your refrigerator?
I
Not
don't
maggots,
know.
flies. And then
I
how would
don't
those
know.
flies proliferate their maggots and those would
But
live?
the flies
'Cause I
are in
feel
the
like-
food all the time, right? Like if you leave.
Not if they're in the fridge, though. If it's a bag of Popeyes or something in the fridge,
There is
and you
no
open it
scenario
briefly
in
and
which
close it.
there's no. Let me just debunk this part in case this is where you're headed. There's no scenario in which I had food on the counter, flies got on it and laid eggs, and then I put it back in. That is absolutely
But, like,
impossible because
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
guessing.
There was an experiment I learned about in high school where they took the steak, put glass over it, and then let the maggots arrive. And if I remember right, it just proved that the maggots were always there.
there's
Well,
fly
that shit
eggs
that
in
they
the
did
random
in
meat.
Maybe I have it backwards. I have
Do-
low confidence now.
I
it
hope
was
not.
like a 13th century study where they thought that if you slice a bull open or something in an open field, bees will be created. Like they literally thought, they're like, well, yeah, you just cut a bull open and then you go back there a few days later and now it's full of bees. Therefore, kill a
Interesting.
bull and the guts become bees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they thought.
Well, I hope that's not true because it's a poor bull. Yeah, I don't know, but the refrigerator has been bleached and scrubbed, and it is now full of all kinds of delicious foods. I got a big roast. I got four filet mignons. Excuse me. I got a
For
pound
your
of
sous vide. Yeah.
for the sous vide. I got a pound of really big fucking shrimp. They're like $20 a pound, but I didn't give a shit because I'm having a shrimp cocktail tomorrow. And I got this. I won't go into it. And I got a bunch of really nice deli meats because that's one of the things I craved a lot when I was in prison was like just a ham and cheese sandwich. I wanted that so bad with like good bread, good ham, good cheese because those things don't exist in prison. Any of those things.
What's like the best shit you can buy from the commissary? Because what you were describing the commissary as, it had a lot more variety than I thought.
It's like a gas station. It's like if you walked in the gas station, pretty much everything that's in there you can get in the commissary. That's how we often describe it.
So like Lunchables and shit.
No, nothing that would require refrigeration.
Oh, okay.
Only dry goods. So tuna in those pouches, mackerel in the pouches, oysters in pouches.
So yeah, the chili wasn't in a can because that could be
It's in a pouch.
weapon. A pouch.
Yeah. It's in a pouch, and it's just fucking delicious. Brushy Creek chili. Wish
Man,
they'd
I would
sponsor us.
suck in prison because chili. I don't eat most beans. I don't eat chili. Like it does not agree with me.
Well, they had all sorts of medical items. They had gas relief and stool softener. and they had all sorts of things that might help you out. Also, they had antacids, all that stuff.
When you were taking like hot chili shits, was there ever like a pressure of someone on the outside, like, man, you gonna finish up soon, man?
Oh, let me tell you how you take a shit in prison.
Yeah.
If you courtesy flush continuously while you're shitting, like it's one of those high volume government toilets that like immediately recovers from the first flush and has that crazy powerful, like the airport toilets. So like as soon as
it's almost opening your ass.
Yes, it's just drawing the shit out of you. Like that guy who like will pull the handkerchiefs out of his sleeve never-endingly. You're like, whoa, that's my gallbladder.
Yeah,
it's so as soon as you start pooping, you're just flush, 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 and that way you don't stink up the bathroom. And everybody used the same method. And I think, to me, it was gross. What I would do is I would shit, and as soon as like I had made my first deposit, I would quickly flush and then wipe and flush again. But I wasn't going to continuously flush because I don't want to be sitting on the toilet when I flush it, because it sprays your ass with water.
That's the
but
risk.
that's what they all do. That's what they
want you to think they're
all
doing.
take
They
it.
could
You
all
can
be
see.
pulling. Oh, okay.
You can see their like I don't see them shitting, but you can see their knees and the way their legs are bent, that they're sitting on it, continuously flushing it. And I figured the reason they're doing it is because the toilet paper is so harsh and rough and thin that they want their ass soaked in water like a bidet to like soften the wiping process up a bit, so the toilet paper is wet.
On the
this
videos,
is the worst part of prison so far.
On the videos, they say that the faux pas is for the poop to break the surface of the water. That's when the stink really happens. So you have to flush often enough that it never breaks this.
How big are these people's shits that they're regularly?
They eat
cresting
crazy
the
meals,
surface?
dude. They eat crazy meals in there. Like they'll be fat as fuck, but they'll work out 4 hours a day. So do the math.
I always wondered that, when I would watch TV shows and there'd be some guy who's just fucking shredded. I'm like, is he really able to hit the macros of protein that he needs to stay in that shape? Really?
Snow asked me, he's like, how much protein should I be eating a day? Oh, how much protein should I be eating? I don't know what that's getting into Macho Man Randy Savage territory. Hey, how much protein does the Macho Man need? Gonna slip into a Slim Jim.
More than that, brother. Yeah.
All the little Hulksters know you need 120 grams of protein a day minimum. So
Did
he
you tell
said,
him like 1 gram of protein per kilogram of weight?
yo, what's a kilogram? Oh, he knows what kilograms are.
That's exactly what kilograms are. Yeah.
Let me get my skills.
Man,
No,
thanks for not using that imperial bullshit, man.
I called Kitty and I was like, hey, my buddy wants to know, he weighs 205. He wants to know how much, he's 205, 48 years old. How much protein should he have a day if he's trying to gain muscle and work out? And she told him, and I told him. She told me and I told him.
How tall was he?
Probably shorter than me, probably 5'11", 5'10", something like that.
That's a muscly guy.
I think maybe the prison scale is wrong, because like on my prison ID, it looks like I'm 6'3", and I don't think that's correct at all.
Go with it.
You heard it here first. If you want to boost your height, go to prison.
Go to prison.
Yeah.
But it definitely says I'm 6'3".
I went to
not
the
like in
doctor,
letters, but
and they measured me at 6'2", which I'm not. And it was like,
I'll take it.
yeah, but like, it made me question the competence of the staff there. Like, what?
All right, you're 6'2", your blood pressure's 120/80. You're ready to go, Matt. Don't even worry about the rest of these tests. Wait a goddamn minute. All right. Now I am 6'2", but let's check on. Could you double check that blood pressure? Let's
average
do it
out
again.
3. Let's, yeah.
You also got another test back. Says you're gay.
No, I just like rectal thermometers.
This is the last time I'm coming to this laundromat for my blood test.
Some Korean guy. Oh, you so giant. You must be at least 6'3". Also, you gay. That's what this is every Asian person now, because doing all the different ones is too hard.
I like that you squint your eyes for it too. Just go extra.
Well, that's just part of it.
I didn't even realize.
People don't. I think everybody does that. Like just inherently, they squint. My eyes already squint when I laugh, so that's easy enough. But yeah, the prison sounds fucking terrible. Other than like, it is hilarious that there are guys in there who are worried about their protein macros.
Yeah.
Like, how do I hit fucking 200 grams of protein, man? How many max I got? Actually, you wouldn't have to eat that many max.
That's
Because
the thing.
if it's a
He
small
would hit
like
it.
tin or pouch,
He would tell me in great length what he ate every day. We'd be walking, and he'd be like, "This is what I ate yesterday," and he would break it down meal per meal. And I'm just sitting there like, "Yeah, man, that's great. Sounds good. It's a lot of protein. Sounds good. Yeah, that's good. Uh-huh." Just like, I don't give a fuck. In my head, I'm like, a day will come when this won't matter. A day will come when I don't fucking have to listen to a cholo tell me about his macros. That day's coming.
You have the benefit of, you're probably a much better runner than I am. You're just a leaner kind of guy.
Everyone's
Whereas I feel like if I were in prison alongside him, I'd get a mile in. She'd be like, "God, you gotta fucking stop talking, man. I'm dying here. I'm trying to do the pull-ups with you. I'm just so fat." And